Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative professional wrestling podcast in the industry today. And at the end of the day, all I can say is learn to love it because it's the best thing going. Woo! Today, I'm your man, Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. To my immediate left is my good friend and broadcast colleague, the one and only Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling. And collectively, we are known as Clash of the Podcast. Already got people in the chat. Looking forward to talking with you guys. Looking forward to chatting and getting into some very controversial things. It's been a really big week in the world of professional wrestling, wherever and however professional wrestling may have fallen short as it relates to the shows that went forth. That's just my opinion. They more than made up for with the controversies outside of the ring. Myself and Conrad will be definitely touching base on that. So with that being said, there's only one thing left to say, and that is, Conrad, my brother from another mother, drop that thing.
Welcome, everybody. This is going to be an interesting, as most of them are, I would say, episode of Clash of the Podcast. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to disagree about. I think there's a lot to agree about. It's going to be a fun episode of the podcast. And I don't know, Sean, lately I've been kind of doing this weird thing. Like, today's episode is about X, Y, or Z. Well, today's episode, if you guys remember the thumbnail, I'm pulling it up just so I can look at it. It's going to be about reviews, regrets, and responsibility. Right. Those three R's today, I think, are going to be very key in what we are talking about when it comes to this. Let's check in with the folks in the chat.
Absolutely.
Shall we? Woo! Quills, you got beat today, bro. On Labor Day. Joel beat you. He said, happy Labor Day, everybody.
Happy Labor Day, Joel.
I hope everyone's having a good holiday. I played a little basketball today. My feet are hurting. I'm a little cranky. I'm tired from last night. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of a lot of things. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
There you go.
Sir Quills says, what's up, Conrad Sean? Sir Quills is here yet again to enjoy another dope episode of Clash of the Podcast. Payback was mid. All Out was good. Let's talk about it.
Quilly.
Yeah. Doug in the house. It's Monday. It's almost 6:05. Time for our favorite part of Monday, Clash of the Podcast. Oh, my brother. Testify.
He's calling me.
Reverend Devon for life, bro. One day we got to talk bad gimmicks that we love. Reverend Devon is there for me. I love that gimmick. I don't know why.
You know what mine is? Mine is Disco Inferno. I really enjoyed him. The Chart Buster was a stunner reincarnating, and it was really good.
You know why they did that. Don't even start with that.
It was a dig. No question.
It used to be, remember, Billy Gunn used to do the jackhammer, so it's like, yeah, our tag wrestler uses the finisher of the guy from the other company.
That's true.
I'm sure those will come back, those digs. Look, even Sean's in the chat, letting everybody know about us. Sean, I watched Thursday's episode of HWW. That's Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. You guys could catch it. We had a wonderful episode talking about creative, or lack thereof, in a particular company. Man, you blindly called Bryan Danielson returning, then boom, it happened?
I did. Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Girls that love me, staying fresh to death like Dougie.
I predicted it for the reason I think they did it, man. Like, but Bryan Danielson definitely showed up and showed out with Ricky Stark, so I'm glad I was right about that one. Big shout out to Doug. I appreciate that.
Thick says sup. What's good? Rafael De La Ghetto.
What up,
you know where that's from? You're all right with me. You know the TV show. Put it in the chat.
Of course.
Anthony Slate says, hey, what's up, everyone? I'm here. Anthony, welcome. Welcome, man. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. I'm seeing the numbers go up. I appreciate all of you being in here. Hit that like for us. Comment. Get in the chat. I want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Even Derek's here saying, yo, Derek, is that you or is that you yelling from the basketball we played earlier?
My guy, Derek.
Man, I'm just going to jump to his other comment. He already showed the love. Yeah. Derek, I don't know if we should be playing basketball anymore, bro. I'm reconsidering right now. I'm thinking about we may have to hang up the sneakers or something. Joel said, I thought the shows were better in ring than they were on paper.
Yo, big shout out to Joel, man. He and I were texting back and forth a little bit during the weekend, all the festivities that were taking place. Man, I respect that, brother. I respect you, Conrad. But you know something? Anybody who says that this weekend of wrestling that just passed was anything but mid, I will vehemently, I checked the word, that's accurate, vehemently disagree.
We'll get into it.
Yes.
Owens Insane versus Judgment Day. Wow. Yeah. When you say mid, though, see, here's my problem with the word mid. Mid negates things in people's minds. Because when you hear mid, you think bad, right?
Okay. That's a matter of what's the word? That's a matter of opinion. To me, mid means like B minus C plus.
I think there's a better way to say it because when I hear it, I think of like MJ. Oh, mid, like I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Okay. You got it. There's things that were good.
Give me some time as we matriculate through the show to think of a better word.
Here we go. Here. Is this the thesaurus episode of Clash of the Podcast?
All right, come on, man. You know I get in my bag sometimes. Don't do that.
I know. But we're about to turn this into vocabulary in elementary school here.
That's it.
My son was just talking to me. Oh, excuse me, the intern, and he was saying consequences. Like I'm teaching him. I'm like, why are you saying these words to me?
Nice,
like
good for him.
Yeah, he might know him tomorrow. First day, we'll see. Yeah. Prayers up for the teachers out there. Been waiting on this show since Punk's removal.
Oh boy,
Connor, what's good? Conrad Sean just moved into the new place in North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Spin it like a helmet. You got to know that song, Connor. If it plays, you just got to do it.
Shout out to Connor. Congratulations on a new place, on a new crib.
Welcome. Sick. Cut it out. Cut it out right now. Yo, I'm not guessing who's on Labor Day.
How sick is that? He's freaking hilarious, bro. Like, dude is top tier. And speaking of top tier, Leezy Sheezy. What up?
What up, bro? Jocelyn in the house watching on Twitch. What is good to Jocelyn? Always appreciate her. Evening all. Was that barbecue good today? I think I did all right, man. I felt like it could have been better. I was rushing through I just did hot dogs and hamburgers. I didn't do anything else. I couldn't spare the time for chicken. If I started doing that, this show would have been not starting on time.
Jocelyn, I appreciate you. Welcome.
So much went on last week. I need to catch up. Yeah. Derek said my body's locked up. That's a fact, bro. I enjoyed All Out more than Payback, but yes, Payback was a good show. Mid means meh, in my opinion.
It could be. I'm thinking of a different word. Just give me a little while. I'm gonna come up with a word that vehemently.
He about to bust out all the synonyms, if you know what that is.
Vehemently, that's for you, Connor. That vehemently describes my temperament about the shows over the weekend.
Me and Sean try to keep it cordial. Now you got to keep it cordial on here.
No, this is all you now, because now you got me thinking about it. Now I'm going out of my way to do it now.
McKinney says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling with the dynamic duo of Monday Night Clash of the Podcast, and to let y'all know, there is no try, only do. Let's go.
Amen. Welcome, McKinney.
Sean, I'm going to let you kick this off, man. What do you want to talk about first? By the way, for fans who are upset at the world and at life, maybe, we do have some different things going on in the world of pro wrestling. If something's not your flavor, we bring it to you here.
What is the matter with
wrestling?
You?
What?
You're on your comedic genius today, bruh.
Nah, man, I'm just offering different solutions for people.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
bringing it to you. We got Victory Road coming up in White Plains, New York, September 8th. We got a tremendous match card in the making. These are the matches. The card don't look bad. Also, with that, they're going to be filming the 1,000th episode of Impact Wrestling. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that as well. I am fairly interested to see what they can pull out here for Impact Wrestling 1,000 episode. Like I think we got Team 3D, Gail Kim. There's a bunch of names. AMW. There's a lot of people from the past coming back. So if you haven't watched Impact in a while, you may want to check it out. And if you're in the chat hating before I open this up and look, stop being a hater. All right. Because there's a lot of people upset and, oh, I don't like this place anymore. Okay, well, I'm just giving you options. That's all Big Daddy Kush is here to do. That's all that I'm just trying to present to you. Sean, what do you want to talk about first, man?
So, what do you want to talk about? I want to talk about.
Oh, brother! When he says that line, I always think that.
Let's talk about Payback, man. Let's get into that because I have to admit Payback was better than what I thought it was. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the caveat.
Here you go. Here you go. I was like, here comes the backhand, though.
Here's the thing. Just because it was better than what I thought it would be doesn't mean it was good. So let's be clear. I thought the show was going to be a D-, and it wasn't a D-. I'll save my grade for later on. So here's the deal. Finally, Raquel Rodriguez has stopped smiling, so she's actually credible again. I'll give her credit for a halfway decent match with Rhea Ripley. I enjoyed
that match.
She was. I think the highlight of the night is clearly Jey Uso's return, even though it's still a little bit head-scratching, a little bit confusing. And I will say this. I think WWE got it right by putting all the gold on Judgment Day. That was a big surprise, and I'm not mad at it. So overall, not bad. And Trish and Becky did their thing also. So at the end of the day, I was not totally disappointed from an entertainment standpoint.
I'll agree. I think Trish and Becky exceeded expectations. I thought that Rey Mysterio in theory was fine. Grayson Waller, I think they really, really like this dude. Dude's a star. We've also got the match of the night to me was the tag team match. I loved it with Priest and Finn versus Zayn and Owens. Mm-hmm. Very well done what they did there. I loved Rhea Ripley and Raquel. That probably might be my number 2. And Miz and LA Knight went way longer than it needed to, but you got the endorsement from Cena for LA Knight, so that's cool. Cody was too big for this. And Seth Rollins and Nakamura. Bro, can we treat Nakamura better? Like, I don't ask for much, Sean. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Can we? I thought this could have been Nakamura's night, possibly, to do something.
No, Nakamura's never going to be world champion in WWE. His best days are behind him as it relates to, and let me be clear about that statement. His best days are not behind him as it relates to being able to be a world champion. What I mean by that is his best days are behind him as it relates to momentum in WWE to be a world champion. And that's WWE's fault. Having Nakamura win at WrestleMania 34 would have been a good idea, but you know what that
means.
So, here we are many years later, and now all of a sudden he's thrusted back into the main event role. And let's call a spade. Pretty much just try to throw something up against the wall and see what sticks. It's unfortunate. Nakamura, I mean, you did everything you possibly could do over the last 3 weeks to make Nakamura a credible challenger. Meanwhile, 99% of the viewing public knew that he would not win, and that's exactly how it played out.
It's just weird to hear like somebody. I think it's weird flex to say like my back is hurt as a wrestler, mm-hmm. and then you go on to keep beating people. So that makes Nakamura. He couldn't get the job done with someone with an injured back.
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't like that for him. Like I said, Jinder Mahal beat him. This is when my frustration with WWE came into play. Like, what are we doing at this point? I see some people are heading to the Victory Road in the chat. I like to hear it.
Oh, by the way, what's on your shirt?
Oh,
What's up?
Ali.
Oh,
Ali
I agree.
baby.
I was about to say, like, that would have been crazy that if we were both rocking. I mean, because I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT of the basketball. I was just trying to figure out who's on your shirt. But by the way, just for the record, Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. You got that right. And Jordan, stop saying LeBron is better than Jordan. I love LeBron. He is not better than Michael Jordan. I just had to do that.
But we ain't having that conversation today. I'll be. That's a whole video for me.
Okay, fair enough.
AMW, yeah, America's Most Wanted. I'm good. Pro Wrestler Shoot, I'll never stop being a hater when it comes to Impact. I'm good, bro. Not for me.
PWS, you're better than that, PWS.
Come on. Yo, listen. Y'all can talk like that about other companies, but not, come on. Impact tries.
Impact,
I'll never stop being a hater.
Impact is a little engine that could, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I thought they would have been gone at this point. They're still here. They're still kicking. Noob says hello, everyone. Sick, I'm just spitting facts, man. I like what I like. That's okay. That's all right. Trish and Becky was so much better than I thought. Yo, did you guys see Trish afterwards? Like, I don't want to even post the photo because you can get in trouble probably for that stuff on YouTube. But did you see the bruises on her, bro?
Oh, she went through it, and she cursed somebody out before the match even started.
I peeped that. I peeped that on is it X now? I don't even know what I'm calling it Twitter still until someone tells me.
Nobody's gonna stop me from calling it Twitter.
Yeah, I was surprised by that from Trish. She did it kind of like the nice girl in school too, like, "Hey everyone, shut up," and I was like, "Whoa!" The return of the new Raw, yo. So, can we talk about this, bro? I don't even mention it as much as I used to, but what draft is there, bro? People just jump from show to show until you need something to happen. I'm sick of this.
Bro.
Let's see here. Nubico says that Nakamura is presented as a threat to Seth. We'll see if they continue that way tonight on Raw. Why did they bring Muta in to watch Shin lose? I have no idea why they did that. All I know is that I need Great Muta in the next WWE game. So if they can make that happen, I'm all about it. I'm for it.
Great Muta as a playable character. That sounds awesome.
You know what that means. So
you hit me with my line. I didn't even see that coming. That was good.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, though. I would love for it to happen, but I don't know, Sean. I don't know if they'll do it.
Well, WWE's stupid. I mean, that's incorrect. That's an inappropriate thing.
That might be out of their realm, though. Like I said, they've been trying to. I would hope they could get like Muta and Liger, but Liger's probably working with New Japan, so that's probably no. I don't know how contracts work over there, especially when you're an announcer.
Right.
No, I meant me as the person. Yeah, no, Six not a fan either. I'm pretty sure. I would have built this up differently between Shinsuke and Seth. Derek says. I like Dave LaGreca, but this man said Trish and Becky is a match of the year contender. Really, bro? Good match, but come on.
Yeah, that's too much.
I think people are starting to throw that out a little too easily. Yeah, I'm trying to be polite. So yeah, no, not for me, brother. Not for me. I also blame WWE for, I skipped McKinney's comment. 6 matches for Payback, and it was a good show. I'll give it a solid B. The U.S. title match wasn't great, but could have been a SmackDown main event. And the fact that Seth won clean was meh, seeing he's injured. I thought it went off the air weird, too. I know people probably don't want me to say that type of stuff, but it went off the air very weird.
There's nothing wrong with you saying that. They were trying. The lag was making it seem like Priest was going to cash in.
He was holding his back, and I'm like, if he's hurt, get him.
Yeah.
Get him. What are you waiting for? But he couldn't because he had all that gold weighing him down, or silver, nickels. I'm not really better than that, Hubs. Trish's bruises were sick. I didn't know compared to how Brian and Ricky's bodies looked from that stretch. Yeah, there was a lot of punishment going on. Great Muta as Nakamura's mentor manager would be a nice idea. Muta ain't trying to do that travel. Muta ain't trying to do all that. So that's Payback in a nutshell that we just talked about. Looking forward to Raw tonight, maybe? Did they convince you, Sean, to get back into the game and start watching Monday Night Raw again?
I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown with the exception of the Bray Wyatt Terry Funk tribute show since Money in the Bank, and tonight will be no different.
Okay.
Even with the return of my boy Jey Uso, because all that's gonna happen is Jay's gonna come out and say, "Hey, Hey, Oos. Hey, Oos. That's all.
Listen, he's got the people bobbing a little bit. Like, I like when wrestlers start teaching them some dance moves. Remember Booker T back in the day?
You know that I'm a huge Jey. Everybody here knows I'm a huge Jey Uso fan. But all of a sudden, I'm going to be convinced they're going to do the right thing with him? Please.
We'll see. But maybe they put him on Raw to... I don't know. Let me not get your hopes high. Let me stop.
No,
now I'm fantasy booking.
I'm not... I check the blogs and do my research to make sure that I'm prepared for the show each and every week. I'm very knowledgeable about everything that happens on Raw and SmackDown. But I'm not watching. WWE has done me dirty for too long. I am done. I will watch the pay-per-views only because I get that as part of the network, and there's no reason not to watch. It's I'm telling you, bro, like, Jey Uso is going to flounder because WWE sucks. WWE should put in my opinion, Jey Uso should be in the World Championship mix right now. Right from walking in the door.
I'm saying he could be, though. That's why that title was made, if they wanted to. But once again, that's if they want to. I don't know what the plans are for Seth Rollins' title. All I know is I keep hearing how hurt Seth Rollins is, and I'm like, okay, well, do something different. But that's up to them. Let's see here. What up, E? He looks like he's here for the Punk stuff.
Welcome.
Gonna give him the B title. Ooh, that is true right now, though.
Listen, PWS. Come on, who are you talking to? You know that I wanted him to win the Undisputed title, and everybody convinced me, and rightfully so, that was never going to happen. So, are we saying that Jey Uso's not worthy of being world champion after the 2 years that he's had? I say he's worthy of being a world champion. That's just my opinion.
I mean, why not? I mean, like I said, listen, if they want to do it, they can do it, is what I'm saying. If you want to, you can push them. It's up to the company, though.
I'll tell you this, and you're going to be blown away by this probably. I would become invested with a Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins feud.
I think you could do it if they want. Like I said, if they wanted to. Co-main event, Jey Uso, chill.
That's messed up. Jeez.
Listen, people got to get their jokes off, Sean.
It's hilarious. I love it. It's just, but you know what the crazy part about what PWS just said? Jocelyn, we're going to get you in 10 seconds. What PWS just said is accurate in a funny way because that's what WWE has done. Jey Uso could have, by all intents and purposes, beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, right? But we all talked about why that could not happen, and I understood why that could not happen. But because we all know that nobody's beating Roman until Cody beats him at WrestleMania 40, and I'm saying that with great disdain and disgust, that means it is the B title. Everything PWS is saying is not wrong. It's just unfortunate, bro. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of unfortunateness, if that's a word, to put in here. Jocelyn says, speaking of Booker T, why is he suggesting anything involving AEW? He's got a podcast. We all got podcasts, and we got opinions, I guess. I mean, doesn't mean it's right either, you know? Take it or leave it.
Day one-ish. It's me. Oops.
You like that new theme now, the little remix?
I don't hate it, but it's like the original one's better.
McKinney says, can we get a unified tag team belt instead of holding two belts? I heard a rumor that Raw's getting new belts tonight.
Really?
I don't know if that's true, but that was on the rumor mill. If you're a belt fan, you may want to check that out. It's starting to look corny with guys holding these red and blue nickels. When I was a kid, I could have made these belts, though. Let me get a nickel. Put that right in the middle. You could have created your own belts back in the day.
Those the greatest tag belts of all time, the Demolition Heart Foundation belts.
Yeah. I would love if they went back to those, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That sounds like a good idea.
I've hated that design since the giant pennies. The giant pennies are probably the worst belts I've ever seen in WWE history.
Well,
the worst.
The giant pennies are really, really bad, but the current IC belt still makes me sick.
That one grew on me. I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, though, of the designs that it's went through, but I can live with that. Put the strap on Nakamura, stop playing. Nah,
really? I like Nakamura.
McKinney. he says, here's how you put Cody on SmackDown. Roman is upset with him getting in the bloodline business and taking his family away from them. There you go. Sounds like a WWE thing to do.
Now,
No,
I'm
none
going
of
to
that
throw something
matters.
out there that would actually make Jimmy versus Jay okay for me. It's never going to be okay. All right, let me go on the record right now. Jimmy versus Jay is never going to be okay in my book. But there is a way you can make something that's terrible better. Want to know how? Make it for the World Heavyweight Championship.
You think at Survivor Series we're getting Seth versus Roman?
I think in Survivor Series we're getting Team Seth versus Team Roman. Matter of fact, I think we're getting Team Cody versus Team Roman. And Jay's going to be on the team.
Interesting. More on that in a moment here.
Yes, sir.
WWE Raw's tonight. You guys should check it out if you're interested.
Why? Okay, you're right. Sorry.
Rod, I'm trying to transition here.
Okay.
I'm all out of good ideas. See what I did there?
I like that.
So, let's talk AEW All Out. Review is up on the channel. If I remember here, 2025, 2525 will be the timestamp for it. Try to have it up in the corner here. Sean, we talked about this show. You came into the chat last night. You caused a ruckus, got us off path a little bit for what we wanted to do, but we had fun with it.
Sorry about that.
No. That's what happens when you talk to the people in the chat. I know this will happen. It can happen. But All Out. I'm seeing the reviews today, Sean. 9.52 out of 10 on Cage Match.
Oh, on the Cage Match. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On that website where fans vote for what's like great cards and stuff.
I got you.
I had people telling me, M. Leezy thought it was awesome. I did not feel that way about this. And I don't know if I should feel bad. Like, did I miss the point? Like, I don't know, bro. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping.
All right, here's it. It's so upsetting to me because like this, I'm starting to look like Jey Uso every week on this show. Look, here's the issue, man. When you think about an A+ pay-per-view, you're talking about a pay-per-view that gets knocked out of the park. I don't understand how, and I'm telling you guys in the chat, I consider you guys, every one of our regulars and all the new people that come, nobody has shown themselves in this chat to be anything less than knowledgeable. And of course, Conrad, I know you're knowledgeable. Everybody in this chat has at least some semblance of knowing what they're talking about. I salute all of them. But I just can't wrap my head around what I'm seeing on social media, bro. Like, it was A show. It was a 8.5 out of 10. It was a 9 out of 10. Oh, AEW All Out exceeded expectations. What? That show was mid. And no, I have not come up with a better word. But what I will do is I will come up with a point system to try and express my point in a more respectful way. That show was, huh?
I was gonna say, do you need the card for it? I'll pull it back up.
Right. That yeah, give me that. Thank you, brother. That show was a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I'm gonna start at the main card. Joe and Taylor, it was okay. Powerhouse and Miro, it was okay. The world champion and Adam Cole versus Dark Order, I'm giving that a 4 out of 10 because it was stupid. Just the match being put together was stupid.
Listen, I'll say this. I'm going to go off with you a little bit. This felt like ROH All Out, not AEW All Out. And that's the part where I think it's kind of head-scratching to charge $50. You're like, but MJF's here. We're not getting a world title match? But you just got one a week ago, you know? And I'm like, that's fine, but you got to bring it. You got to bring it in that situation, and I'm sure it'll mess up the storyline with them too. But I didn't think Silver and Reynolds were the guys they didn't get me excited. I know that Silver's like commenting on people and doing heelish things on social media right now, but I just didn't think they were the guys. I thought there were better options than them.
I'm just so disappointed, I'll be brief. I'm not gonna go. Okay, the BCC versus Kingston and his partner. I Eddie Kingston. Thank you, Sonata. That was okay. The 8-man tag, pointless. The TBS Championship, Ruby Soho's best in-ring performance since joining AEW, so I'll give her respect for that. Darby Allin versus Luchasaurus, disappointing in my opinion. Kenny Omega.
I thought that was fine, because here's my issue with Luchasaurus has always been that why does he feel the need to do choke slams into flips into knees and stuff? Like, bro, this up, down. I get it. You're a monster. Why do we need to have you doing like, you're going to flip into my knee? Like, you're making it complicated. It's not that complicated. You are a BMF, bro. Like, that's the best way I can put it in UFC terms. That's what you're supposed to be, bro. You come in, you drop people, okay, kick them, do whatever. I don't need to see you fly and do all that stuff in the air. And I think Christian has told him, yo, you don't do that. Don't do that. All you gotta do is put punishment on people. That's all they want to see you do. And it works. It's saving him from doing all that stuff. So I think him and Christian as a pairing is very smart. Darby, I think, injured himself. I don't know what. Darby's a madman. I don't know why he does the things he does.
So Tashida and Omega was really good. Danielson and Starks was really good, and Moxley and Cassidy was terrible. I'm kidding. Moxley and Cassidy was awesome. But at the end,
hear it now.
Yeah,
as soon as you said that about Orange,
and I'm talking really fast because I don't want to take too much time up on this. It was a C show. It was a C show, bro. I mean, that's just the bottom line. It was a C show. I mean, you look at it top to bottom. It was a good. It wasn't a horrible show. It was okay. As a matter of fact, he's being funny with me, but I appreciate it because that's probably the best word. It was a satisfactory show. Would I have left the United Center feeling that they stole my money? No, but I wouldn't have been like, wow, what a great night. It was okay.
I'll tell you this. I'm not looking forward to them trying to do this again next year. You better have a better plan than what you did this time, because this was not it. And yeah, I know they had to change plans and go around and switch it. I'll tell you this. Even if the guy we're going to talk about in the next segment, because I'm going to try to act like we don't have to speak about him, if that match was on the card still, it still was not enough in the build, in my opinion. And I saw something today that annoyed me on social media, Sean. I don't know if you saw this, but I saw a couple things, and I actually stayed off social media for most of today.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that Tony Khan last night in the media scrum doubled down and said he's not listening to people talk about the build to his shows anymore?
Yes,
and I was like,
yes, I did.
How arrogant. Now I disagree with Sean on the rating. I told Sean I think it's B minus area for me. It was good. That was fine, but it wasn't great. And I saw people, when people are saying it's great, I'm like, now me and Sean agree. High five together. We're like, nah, bro, you are tripping. I don't know what you're mad about or what you thought was so great, but you're bugging a little bit. With other things with this, I'm like, okay, let's look at. And I told people I can name 3 AEW pay-per-views that are already better than All Out, and I don't want to hear it. That would be All In, Revolution, Forbidden Door. I'm not even joking. It was probably better than Double or Nothing, and that's a Double or Nothing shame too, because it shouldn't have been.
Right.
It shouldn't have been.
Oh,
but it's not
out the way too, bro. But go ahead. Let me let you finish your point, brother.
No. With Tony Khan saying that, though, I was like, how ignorant could you be, though?
Yeah.
Me and the Pro Wrestling Shoot, in their group chat, we talk about this stuff, and we had a good conversation about this today. And we both stand on this, and I agree. And it's Jesse, James, and a bunch of their crew in there. If you can get good wrestling from anywhere, I can go watch Impact Wrestling if I want to get bangers from them. They put on great matches. AEW puts on phenomenal, great matches, tag matches, trios. WWE, they put on great matches. Okay, why should I watch you? Why? I'm talking about the tag match was good. We talked about the cage match was pretty good.
Okay.
These are all pretty good matches. What separates you? It's the stories. It's the build. That is what is important here. If you want to lose that race, I think you're going to lose the long-term race in all of this. Why is Sean invested in Jey Uso? Because of the story that they've told, the build. Are they telling it right? That's an area for you to decide if they're going to take advantage of it. But Tony Khan saying that, I thought was kind of ignorant. All right, I'm going to just say, there's the source word for you, ignorant. All right, you don't say stuff like that to your audience, because now you're just saying that, well, even if we're not doing good, we're just going to deliver banger matches. Look, it was a great pay-per-view. No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. That's how I feel. It was not a great pay-per-view. It was okay. It was good, but I felt he came off very arrogant saying that. Hold on. You want to make a point real quick before I get into this?
I was just going to say, I'm going to get into another point later on, but real quick to piggyback off of what you just said, I think the fact that he can fix his lips to say it was an excellent pay-per-view is arrogant in itself. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I think that card that they put together when they looked at it on paper was arrogant, because you really pushed your chips to the middle of the table for All In, as you should. And I still don't think they pushed enough. Don't get me started. I'm gonna leave it alone. I said B+. A B+ is still really good. That's for All In. But if you look at that show on paper, it was like, and they added Brian Danielson at the end, bro. I'm telling you. Shout out to Doug. I appreciate the compliment. To me, they made a phone call, bro. They made a phone call to Brian Day. Are you okay? Are you healthy? Because we need you, bro. We need you.
According to Danielson, there was a lot of smoke and mirrors in that match too to protect him.
But thank you for saying that, Conrad, because that even proves my point even more. Daniel Bryan probably rushed back because they were like, bro, we need you. This pay-per-view is looking weak.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't call up to pull. They could have. Hangman was in the pre-show battle royal, former world champion. He won it, but they could have put him in that match too. I thought some people thought that that's what was going to happen, but it didn't. Let me go to the chat here. Let me see what some of these fine folks are saying. All Out was out of good ideas. This was all out of good ideas. Great weekend for wrestling fans. Omega, Takeshita, Brian Starks, Hobbs, Miro, plus the tag titles on Payback, Fire as well. Plus, my boy Cena is back. Ray, we got to talk about this. My boy Cena.
God bless you, Ray.
Ray, what is your boy doing? That's what I want to know. If you enjoy him, now listen. If you enjoy John Cena, let me tell you this: you're getting to the end, so enjoy him every time you get to see him. I'll leave it at that. That's me being kind.
Thank you, E.
All Out.
E always gives me a hard time, but you know what I can count on E doing? E's gonna tell the truth. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, bro, you're going to have back-to-back pay-per-views. I mean, All In, I still don't think All In was as good as everybody says it was. It was an A- B+ show. But sweet God, you really told the world, like, we care about All In and we're giving you scraps for All Out, period.
I mean, listen, we'll get into it, bro. And he said that All Out felt like it was for second-class citizen show. The show for the Colliders and basically ROH. And Dynamite shined at All In front of 800,000, unless you were a draw, right? Then they pulled you up. But I don't know. It felt very weird how they put these together. I didn't like it.
Here, bro.
D said, come on, bruv. 5 out of 10 for me, Pro Wrestling Shoes says. Sean says satisfactory. All Out B-, All In B+, Forbidden Door A, Revolution A, Double or Nothing. Lucky to get a D+ from me. Woo. Nah, fam, this card wasn't that great the first few matches. Listen, I'm telling you guys, go on Cage Match right now. It's got a 9.52 for a rating. And I'm like, yo, these people are bugging way too high for this show. But that's just my opinion. I think I'm in the minority. I think people are going to be like, no, this was great. This wasn't that great. The first few matches were meh, then it picked up. Miro and Hobbs was a good match, but the crowd turned up. Yeah, there was a lot of chants about meat in that match. I agree with Hub. It's a 6.5 to a C overall. I respect it. Kingston should have gotten the pen on Claudio, even if it was a flash pen. No, I think, me and Sean have been talking about this. Me and Derek have been talking about this. BCC needed wins.
Yes.
Dude, BCC's been getting beat up since May. Since that crappy Double or Nothing show where Yuta got the pin on Kenny, they ain't gotten any wins since then.
Right.
They've been getting
they've been on a losing streak for real.
They've been getting, Sean's boy LA Knight said it, getting stomped out every week, and I'm tired of watching it. Like, yeah. And I'm just so sick of seeing it happen. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm supposed to take these guys as some threat, but you got them losing to people. Like, I don't know. I haven't been feeling what they've been doing. Let's see. Easy part of the gimmick was Luchasaurus taking the fly away. You've got Saurus. You take away the Lucha, you got Saurus. Yeah, I know. He can still do his Lucha stuff a little bit, but what I'm saying is, chill out, bro. People don't need to be doing no flips and the choke slams into your knee, bro. Just up, down. I got it. I visualized it. It's simple. That's it. He doesn't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. Keep wrestling simple. I promise you, it works. You can't teach height. Enzo, it's your line, you know? Watch the first 2 matches before going to sleep, maybe because I was tired. Hobbs being beat didn't look right to me. Yeah, we'll see where they're going. When CJ Perry showed up for it, too. She made her debut. That was her little surprise, I guess. AEW's out of surprises, though, Sean. I keep telling people there's no surprises anymore.
That was weak, bro. I was like, oh my god! So they're trying to revise the fact that they had marital issues from WWE. I'm like, wow.
No. So Derek explained this to me. This was interesting, and we were talking about this actually after basketball today. He said that he thinks that Miro is. He has said that he has like forsaken everything that's not his God. So his wife, like everything's gone. So he's like, you're not real to me right now. And I think that the argument is going to be his path is focused on something, which is probably going to be a championship, I'm guessing. And he's going to challenge for a title. Until he gets that title, I'm not married. All I do is train, and everything I do is for my God. And
that's a good perspective. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, no, Derek talked me into it. I was like, oh, okay. Darby and everybody do the dinosaur. Everybody do the dinosaur. Oh, Sheila. Oh, I thought we were doing 80 songs, E. No? Payback was 6 out of 10. Strap match was dope. Tony Khan in his Bischoff era. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? That's just like your opinion, man. Shut up, Rob. Bruv. Nighthawk says Tony also said during the scrum that the pay-per-view buys for All Out makes him think this model is profitable enough to keep doing it. He said he hit over 100,000. So, okay. He did say he tried the bundle too, but it's not allowed. Like you can't. He said it's impossible to do. He said he wanted to do a bundle actually for his 4 pay-per-views when he originally started too, but they said no, can't do that. Hangman's trash. Yikes. Cena probably drove off a lot of fans back in the day, not gonna lie. Yeah, I won't get into the culture vulture stuff of it. Sir Cool said, you know what's blasphemy about All Out? It was the booking of Hikaru Shida. How did you go from defending the women's championship at All In to being in a trios match on the pre-show of All Out?
Facts.
Yo, who called Derek the governor? AEW is the XFL.
Renegade. Sheesh.
Harsh. James, that's James from Pro Wrestler Shoot Group. He's harsh, bro. Harsh. Big shout out to James, though. He gave me a lot of good stuff today. One day, guys, we may have to do Tell Me a Story and Hulk Hogan Lies, because it's great. It's funny to see people do it.
Bro.
He said it was some anti-punk high. These glue... You guys cannot say slanderous things in here. These glue sniffers were smelling themselves. Show that wasn't all that in a bag of potato chips. Come on, E. I mean, he ain't lying, but you gotta watch how you say these things. Easy exchange for Punk for Lana. Tony Bischoff is on one. Y'all bugging, man. Vinny said the locker room. Ooh. Is that the transition point?
Oh boy!
Is that the transition point?
That's it. It was ready made for you. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, Vinny. Let me say something. Signs like this disgust me. For the wrestling world who claims we should be kind to one another. Do you not see that on Twitter, Sean? Don't you see that? Wrestling fans should be kind to each other. First off, this dude can't even spell con right. So I don't want to get started on that, but team vocabulary here today, Conrad and Sean.
Tony Khan.
Yeah, ridiculous to say something like that. And I guarantee you wouldn't say it to that person's face. And I'm talking about your Twitter fingers and all that stuff that you do. So they went out there.
Guy holding the sign looks like a punk anyway.
Yeah, like ridiculous, bro. So let's get into this whole fiasco. Oh, by the way, guys, there is a pay-per-view coming up. It is called Wrestle Dream. It's going to be at the Seattle Climate Pledge Arena, Seattle, Washington, Sunday, October 1st. Tickets are on sale in 4 days on Friday, the 8th of September, 10 p.m. PT time. So if you guys want your tickets, get them. I just know that because we have users in the chat. This all started, this second incident, because of Jungle Boy. And I feel like you can't really talk about this incident until you talk about the first incident, going all the way back. But apparently, CM Punk and Jungle Boy got into it. We talked about this a little bit last week. Since that time, Sean, Tony Khan has removed Mr. CM Punk. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but apparently Tony Khan feared for his life, Sean. He was scared. He was scared, Sean. I'm muting myself. Your turn. Have a ball.
Look, man. Tony Khan claiming to be scared for his life is utterly ridiculous.
Your move.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, he does look somebody who's kind of scary, like scary acting, somebody who looks like a little timid. So maybe he really did in his heart of hearts feel like he was in danger. I don't think CM Punk like tried to wring his neck or anything. I wasn't there. But the bottom line is, it's unfortunate that CM Punk is now gone again. But let me tell you something, man. I don't think I've accurately expressed my point correctly, at least not to Conrad, because Conrad just does not seem to get what I'm saying, even though I think he gets what I'm saying, but sometimes it comes across like he doesn't. So let me be very, very clear. CM Punk is a man. Phil Brooks is a man. He has every right to defend himself if someone attacks him or threatens him or brushes up against him. I'm similar to that kind of person. I'm a little transparency. I'm the type of person that will fight you if you mess with my family or my friends or me. That's who I am. I'm not proud of it. It's something I pray about, ask God to help me with, because as I get older, you can't just go around throwing bows. It's just not correct. That being said, I don't have any issue with the premise of what CM Punk did. If the story played out the way we've heard, that he was approached, he was brushed up against, he was pushed, whatever. My only point has been and will continue to be, you cannot allow yourself to be the victim of being goaded at a person's whim. Don't you think, shout out to my mom, shout out to my mom, because my mom told me about this when I was younger. And even now, don't you think people know you have a temper? Don't you think people know that it's easy to ruffle your feathers? Don't you think people know, even though it's kind of a compliment, people know that you're not going to take any crap from people? So you know what? The Jack Perrys of the world are going to try you in hopes that you lose your crap and get yourself fired. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not mad at Phil Brooks. I'm disappointed in Phil Brooks because this was something that was predictable. They were going to try you, whether it was the Bucks, whether it was Jack Perry, whether it was whoever. Somebody was going to try you because they know you're quick to fly off the handle. And that's what happened. And it's a shame because now the wrestling fans lose CM Punk again. That's my stance.
Listen, CM Punk putting his hands on people is wrong. And I think the hard part about this, Sean, is when it's always Punk. Here's a picture of Punk. Here's a story of Punk. Last night, did you see the story that got released during All Out? The William Regal story. Why did that story need to be released?
Right.
It was old. Regal's gone. Punk's gone. Neither of these people they matter to AEW at this point. Why did that story get released? Did we need it? Did you need it? Did it matter?
Nope.
He didn't shake Regal's hand because he said he was Triple H's stooge. It's kind of true. He's his boy. That's Triple H's Pat Patterson. William Regal's his guy. Sorry. That's it. That's who Regal's loyal to. Not a story, I think. I don't understand why people did that. And William Regal has asked people.
It's all good, Derek. I understand the passion, my brother.
Watch yourself, Derek. So, when you get into that type of stuff, though, what do you want? Like, I don't get what people want from this. I don't. What was the goal of that? CM Punk's gone. He's fired. Punk fans are sad. I don't know why people want to verbally joust and chastise them, but that's what has happened. I'm calm about this. I'm talking like an adult about this. Punk's gone. Punk couldn't put hands on people. It's CM Punk's fault why CM Punk is gone at the end of the day. I can't say anything other than that. It's CM Punk's fault. He should have learned not to put his hands on people. That's not how you solve stuff today. But there are other problems in this scenario that people want to ignore. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez and people running to them is part of the problem. They reported wrong stuff. Remember Miro and Punk almost got into a fight?
Right.
What happened? It was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You reported about a joke.
It turned out to be nothing.
And did you see an apology? I didn't see an apology to CM Punk, Miro, Jungle Boy. You reported something bad about that. So it makes people question everything that Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez does.
Yeah, it's true.
Go to Sean Ross Sapp. I said it. And listen, if anybody knows anything, if you've been rocking with me for a real long time, I won't even get into it, but you know. All right? Go to Sean Ross Sapp when it comes to the news. All right? Let's get into this. I want to read some of the comments here. I do not know what the sign said with it. Vinny, we'll start with you. Vinny said, we need to see that video that dropped. They're never going to show it. How do you go from an investigation to fearing for your life in 6 days?
Good question.
Jungle Boy's name meant nothing when he said Crimea River, just saying. Yeah, it's probably the most Jungle Boy's ever been searched. Not going to lie. If anything, TK Grew has said, Punk had his warning last year at Brawl Out, so he knew it had to be some consequences for his actions, and Perry being suspended indefinitely is a clear message to the roster. Is it, Sean?
I mean, it's true, but it's still one person got in more trouble than the other. But then again, at the same time, McKinney's almost saying what I'm saying, which is the fact that Punk should have known better. See, that's the thing. I think McKinney, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, bro, like you already are on thin ice. It's like that does play a factor, bro.
6 says TK looks like he's never been in a fit.
Hold on, bro. See, Sick, we're gonna get to your comment in 1 second, bro. Just put your thumb on that for me, Conrad. I'm looking in your face right now, bro. I still don't think you get it.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I think you're blinded and blinded in a good way, by the way. I mean it in a complimentary way about how you don't like the injustice of the situation and the one-sidedness of the situation. I don't think anybody's arguing with you about that at all. But go ahead.
I said it last night. I don't know. Did you stick around till the end of the podcast? What I ended it with?
I was watching.
The anger. I'm mad at CM Punk. As a fan of his, I'm mad at him for not being able to control yourself, for not being able to make this work. I'm mad at Hangman Page. Why did you have to make that comment? Did that comment mean so much to you that you decided to tear down a tweet that was supporting Sasha Banks and Naomi for doing the same thing that CM Punk did? Did you really think that was something that was cool to insult when Punk took a stand? That means something to him, that I took a stand and I support these ladies. They took a stand too. But I guess that moment meant so much more.
But what I'm saying to you,
I'm mad at the Elite. The Elite walked in there. You didn't consult your boss because he was sitting out front as everybody was watching him on YouTube. So I know you didn't consult your boss, and you went in there with a lawyer. Why? What were you going to do? What conversation were you going to have with a lawyer present? Is that how you do things? Don't you have a meeting and say, let's sit down and talk with the lawyer and try to discuss this to make things right here for you? No, that's not what happened either. They blew it. And Tony Khan blew it. Responsibility. That R was going to come back into this. Tony Khan had the responsibility. He could have ended all these situations. He could have said, Hangman, apologize to Punk. You're getting fined, and you're the champ, and you're dropping the belt at Double or Nothing. He could have said, Jungle Boy just said that. Yo, Phil, Samoa Joe, I want you guys to go into a room, go finish doing your match with your agent, whatever you're about to do, go over it, and then tell the ref, yo, as soon as Jungle Boy's done, even if he needs medical attention because I see his back's cut up, tell him I need to speak with him. We have to have words about what he just said. Done. Because he should have known that this was going to lead to this stuff. Oh, he was being funny. I was just trying to get heat. That's how all these fights have started. Stop. It's over. It's over. I don't understand it. I don't get why it was cool. The poking the bear and prodding the bear, it was never cool to keep doing that. You allowed it. And then why did this happen? I have no idea. You're sitting there. You're sitting there. What do you mean you have no idea? You sat there and you did nothing. You took no responsibility. Punk came to you with Hangman. You did nothing. Horrible, bro. Horrible management. I'm sorry.
But should Punk have known better?
This wasn't just about Punk.
No,
I already said Punk should have known better.
That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing, my brother.
I already said that about Punk. This is about everyone else.
But I'm
Punk's gone.
I'm saying it again. I'm saying it again because that's the point, bro. What I'm saying to you is that CM Punk would still have a job right now if he just knew what was going. It was clearly a setup, bro. I don't think I've ever used that word before. Yes, I'm going with it. It was a setup. It was a plan to ruffle his feathers to get him to do something to make him get fired. Use your
Punk. Wait, was Punk wrong to tell Christopher Daniels not to be at Collision? I don't want you here. You're part of their squad. No. Did he have a right to do that?
I mean, he had a right to voice what he felt.
But you get what I'm saying, though, Sean? He was in a losing situation.
I get 90% of what you're saying. You're not getting my 10%, which is we all saw the writing on the wall, bro. You can't. Everything you're talking about is super facts, bro. But what I'm saying is let's step outside of that and look at it from CM Punk's perspective. I don't care if you're AJ Lee, his wife. I don't care if you're a friend. I don't care if it's Sean and Conrad on Clash of the Podcast. Just stay away. Like they're trying to get you to do something to get you to lose your job, bro. That's been my whole point for months.
And I think he knew that, though, going into this. Truthfully. Like, I really think he knew that. But, Sean, it was a losing battle. It was only going to be a matter of time unless Dax was going to take his fights for him. Cash was going to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was going to happen. Right. It was just going to lead to more fights. You know why? The Elite could have went to a meeting. Remember when I kept telling everyone Atlanta, Georgia is going to be very important, August 23rd, because they were all going to be in the same area. The Elite canceled the meeting, supposedly, according to Punk's camp. They canceled the meeting when Punk wanted to sit down to squash this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
And then this just happened to happen. No, we had nothing to do with it. And then some people are seeing Matt Jackson running around in a circle doing a victory lap. He did it again last night.
I noticed that.
At the CM Punk chants. Is that appropriate? I don't know. You know, maybe you should tell people to sit down. But then again, I've heard people say that it's disrespectful what Cash and Dax did, too. I don't know if you saw on Collision. Cash came out. He put up an X. Then last night, when you watch when they go, BTE, he didn't say it. Dax didn't say it. He looked at a watch like this. For it's clobbering time. Their loyalty is with their friend.
Either way, we all lose because CM Punk's not on TV anymore.
Yep. And by the way, Sean, you read the whole thing, right? That there was an issue backstage. Tony was scared for his life.
I heard that Bananas comment, yes.
This is what scared for your life looks like backstage after the match.
That's nuts. Oh, my goodness.
That's scared for your life, huh? Very funny. He looks pretty fine to me. He lunged at Tony after this or before this, and he stuck around for an hour, they said. You idiots! Yo, this is gonna lead to a lawsuit, bro. I know it. Punk's gonna get you. And I've heard it's been rumored he's already gonna speak to Sports Illustrated, possibly. If you don't think he knows something, he already exposed other people in this. Moxley. He made Jon Moxley look pretty bad in my eyes with the, I could take this belt to the WWE. Why would you say something like that, bro? I thought you were the heart and soul of AEW. That's where I have a hard time believing some of this stuff now. You put up a fight to beat CM Punk, and Punk was one of the people who went out there and supported you in the ring.
He advocated.
You went away?
Right.
Very weird. That's all I'm saying. I know CM Punk's the big bad man in the shadows, and oh, he's a bully. Oh, he's done that from some people. But is this going to be the last image that we see of him in pro wrestling, Sean?
It's a shame.
Him walking out, putting the one up. Some people said to his tribal chief. Is that the last image that we're going to see of CM Punk walking up out of here?
It will be until he returns to WWE. Because let me tell you something. CM Punk may have said he'll never go back, but Vince said he'd be open to it. Not that, and believe me, I even don't like even formulating my mouth to say the word Vince, but powers that be in WWE said they'd be open to having him back. CM Punk is now motivated to go back. CM Punk is now motivated to stick it to ACW. ECW. What I'm mixing up ECW and AEW at the same time. He's motivated to screw over AEW, and there's only one way to do that, and that's to go back to WWE. I don't care if it's a one-off. I don't care if it's for a Royal Rumble. I don't care if it's for whatever. CM Punk is motivated. CM Punk's going to go on his tour of talking to Sports Illustrated, like you said, ESPN, whoever else it may be, and then CM Punk is going to come back.
And you saw what happened last time. He mentioned, yeah, my leg is still hurt. It's okay. You can still go out there and do the match. How are you going to sign off on me doing the match and you haven't checked me?
Exactly.
It's okay. It's only going to be for a couple minutes. Do you really care about people? It looks bad, bro. Like I said, and if that's just some of the stuff he said, I can only imagine there's more stories that come from it. And I want to bring up some things. Sean, I'm going to transition. I want to transition from what you said, but I want to read these comments from people first.
Yes.
Six said, TK looks like he's never been in a fist fight in his entire life. He looks like the type of dude that doesn't handle hostile environments well at all. Punk ain't at Wrestle Dream. I'm not scared for my wallet. I ain't paying. CM Punk is everything BCC pretends to be. Too old to throw bows? Yo, chill. Bows is rated E for everyone. Jack, come on, E. Don't be getting Sean throwing bows. Don't motivate him. Let me see. Derek, we saw what you said. Punk is the common denominator in the issues. Vinny, that might have been part of the plan, is what I'm saying. Why was Cole Cabana's job saved? Sonny Kiss got released. What were you doing with Sonny Kiss? But Cole Cabana stuck around, huh? Funny. Just saying. It was definitely a setup, Six says. From what happened with the travel arrangements, I didn't even get into that. That the dude was a huge Young Bucks fan and he had to change his Twitter page after people found out who he was. He has pictures with them like this and he's on Being the Elite. What? Happened backstage. I get it. He was probably pissed the Jack Perry thing set him off, but you can't hit people. I agree, Sid. I agree. TK had to do it. I agree. Ryan Emmett and Christopher Daniels, Jungle Boy, Hangman, Bucks, Kenny. How many does it take to become harassment in the workplace? I said it. It's kind of bullying, or what was it called? Is it mob mentality? Is that the word?
That's correct.
We must. Yo, vocabulary's on point tonight on Clash of the Podcast. Don't say we don't make kids smarter before back to school.
Yes, sir.
Rob, I say the exact same line. I tell employees all the time. I don't fire people; they fire themselves. That is a fact. CM Punk fired himself. Dave Meltzer, Alvarez, Chris Jericho. It was an army of folks effing with Punk. They had less people messing with Slick and Harlem Nights. Man, it's crazy how fast backstage news gets out of AEW. What do you mean? You mean like last night, that story from Revolution from 2 years ago? Yeah, Punk didn't shake Regal's hand. Why? They had less people messing with the trench coat mafia than what was messing with Punk. Vinny says the Elite are at fault too. I think we agree with that. The Super Click had all these people. Ace Steel got to work remotely. What happens to Ace Steel, Sean? What do you do if you're? That's
man,
weird.
that is a weird one. Oh my goodness. I don't know, man. I bet you he's a casualty of all this, bro. I mean, how could he not be? I'm not saying it's right, but how could he not be a casualty of all this?
Right. Dax can't have his podcast to rebuke Dirt Sheet lies. Apparently, they told him to shut it down.
Yep.
Punk apologized to TK about what happened last year and said he was there for business. He knew he was wrong in all the interviews. He did the same thing almost a calendar year. Is crazy. Punk screwed Punk. Shivani, Matt Hardy, Christopher Daniels, and Aubrey Edwards. That is the... So let me preface this. Don't go around saying EPW told you this was true, because I don't know if it is. But that's the rumored disciplinary committee.
Hubbard Wrestling said it was true either.
Yeah. That's the disciplinary committee, Sean.
Yeah, wow.
What chance do you think he stood? Shivani was the one who told him to tell Jungle Boy using glass was dumb. Matt Hardy, not a fan. Christopher Daniels?
Definitely not a fan.
And I don't know how Aubrey feels. I don't know.
Aubrey's probably neutral, but
AEW should take a break from Chicago for a while. They run too many shows there anyways. I'm trying to tell them that. Jericho and wife and Bucks probably ain't like the t-shirts Punk wore in Texas. I actually did hear something about that from a report that they didn't support what he was putting up there. I don't want to get too political in here. I bet the Elite was part of the investigation committee. Yeah, see, people kept saying that. Elite had FCM Punk chants in BTE, and they got their Pepsi jokes this week with Hangman talking about Bret Hart circle jerks. Yes, people started with Punk, but Punk's unprofessionalism cost himself. I wish people would just understand what I'm saying, though, that there's this big wall there, and I think Punk saw it eventually, where it's like, I'm never going to be able to get through this. I'm never going to get around this. And you know what they've done, Sean? Sean, you're Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan calls you. I want you to come over to AEW.
Why would I come to that toxic work environment?
Well, we got rid of CM Punk. He's gone.
Yeah, but I don't trust that when I come there, and if I'm not the popular guy, that I'm not going to be treated the same way he was.
I'm going to take good care of you. Trust me.
I can't believe that because you didn't do that before.
I'll write it in your contract. You're getting the belt.
I don't care about getting the belt when my livelihood is being put on the line by being harassed by my coworkers.
Do you see what they've just done? They just played themselves out of getting anybody unless they're sick of WWE. That's it.
Yep.
Congrats. You're not getting Seth Rollins. He seems pretty content. They're selling out right now. Life is good in WWE. Good luck trying to get anybody from there. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Why did it take the leak that Punk was sending Elite friends home? Jungle Boy was eating muffins at the pay-per-view scrum before. This is true. Jungle Boy and Jericho liking anti-Punk tweets. Where's your social media policy for that? Jungle Boy was talking about he didn't like FTR when they debuted because he thought they would make him change his wrestling style. Did Jack Perry? Whoa, we can't say that. Nah, we can't say that. We got yelled at for Gomez McMahon. If you saw the actual wording of what they said lunging was, I was toning it down. It was more than lunging, Uncle Dave said. He probably told Tony, I'm going to kick your behind too. I'm sick of you not doing anything. It's two different stories on that meeting because it's another story where TK asked the Elite before, so it wasn't going to happen, and they already said no. How can your EVPs tell you no?
How can your EVPs make that decision? You're the boss.
Then they don't need to be EVPs. That doesn't make any sense to me. What's Brooke Phillips doing in the Impact Zone? Roman Reigns, CM Punk, WrestleMania 40, Trish would love nothing more than Punk doing the job for Roman. Make him look strong. Make him look real strong again. I'm going to have you beat the entire Shield, but we got to make Roman look strong. Punk said Vince drove him so crazy. How about I just lose to him? That'll make him look real strong.
Exactly.
You sure? You sure about that, Phil? He kept telling him, you're going to beat all three of them, but you got to make them look strong. Like, okay, man. I think Punk will eventually go back to WWE, but I tell you what, that'll be his last chance. Where else is he going to go after that? New Japan? Nah, might as well retire from wrestling and take up acting. He's actually been in a lot of stuff. He's pretty good as a side actor, I think. One of the last pictures is Punk with the Protect trans kid signs. Jericho and his wife in the butt. Oh, yeah. Let's see the CCT footage, Rob. Unlike prior occasions, Khan was not able to effectively communicate or reason with Punk, and an eyewitness account supporting Khan's claim further ended by any chance that Punk would return to AEW from Sports Illustrated. People are saying tribalism. Who is Colt Cabana? Ace Steel is on borrowed time. Yeah, I saw that BTE skit with Kenny drinking Pepsi and spitting it out, and I thought you had no issue with Punk and just wanted everyone to get along. I love Kenny, but that's some BA Sugar Honey Iced Tea Kenny Omega. I'm getting good at this. Active wrestlers should not be EVPs. Matt Hardy is a buck sucker. Jeez. He has been, though, on his social media. He's been deleting tweets and all that. And Matt Hardy's my guys. You know that, Hubs. But
yeah.
He's let me down lately. Other than that, oh, by the way, would an EVP thank everybody but the opening match on All In? I just wanted to let you know. How do you think Samoa Joe feels?
Slighted, and he should feel slighted.
Yeah, very much so. But I wanted to get into some reports real quick. People mentioned him going to WWE. Shout out to Wrestle Purist. They have a great channel on YouTube. Check them out. One of the rumored ideas that CM Punk, this came from Fightful Select. Let me give them their credit because they're the original.
That's correct.
One of the rumored ideas that CM Punk had for a WWE return earlier this year made its way back to some WWE talent. The idea was that CM Punk would return at the 2023 Royal Rumble and work a match at WrestleMania 39 against someone who eliminated him from the Rumble. Word within WWE that Kevin Owens' name was thrown around. When did this happen? Contract tampering much? Something sounds off with this, but
it sounds like tampering in every sense of the word, honestly.
But I'm sure it happens on both sides, though, the tampering.
Of course it does. There's no real way to prove tampering unless you have something like a text message or an email.
Right. We'll see what happens in that MLW case, won't we? That's going to be interesting. And I thought Mark Henry was on point here today.
I got this one. Mark Henry on AEW firing CM Punk. The problem is gone. The problem is solved. Wow. Now you can freely go, and there will be no more complaining. There should be no more complaining. The problem is gone. The so-called problem is everything should be crap and giggles and unicorn stuff and rainbow blankets. That's what it should be now. I'm curious to see how long it's going to be. The problem is solved. Sources.
What did you take that as, Sean? Because I took that differently than some other people.
I took it as severe sarcasm. I took it as sarcastic, like people were overreacting and making it something it's not supposed to be. I don't know how you took it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he was being completely sarcastic. So there should be no more issues amongst everybody.
Now that the so-called cancer is gone, I'm using that word very disrespectfully because I think it was a disrespectful thing, very sarcastically because it was a very disrespectful sign to put up. But the so-called cancer is gone, so there should be no more issues in AEW. AEW should just flow freely moving forward, and it's not going to. Because
it's 9.5 out of 2. All out, baby. What are you talking about? It's great. Cole Cabana, you mean the sidekick to the Young Bucks watering boy? Donnie says, AFW, All Friends Wrestling.
Pretty much.
He said $5, please. Hey, bro, it's not my fault the accounts post what Fightful Select put up. I'm just letting you know that's what I heard. That's what the streets are saying. But if you guys are inclined, feel free to go and support Fightful Select if you want to be the first to get that news. All right, Chauncey, I hook you up, bro.
There you
hook you up. You can hire us as well. You get it even more. At least Phil wasn't fired on his wedding day.
Ooh, touche.
Yeah, it happened again, though. Happened again.
The brother didn't keep a job. He's not the first and he won't be the last.
In wrestling, you are hired to get fired. I don't know if you have anything else, Sean, that you want to say. Can we put a bow on this? Or do we wait until the CM Punk interview comes out? Tony was trying to be really kind. I don't know if you saw his face last night in the media scrum where Brandon Thurston, shout out to fellow Buffalonian, he said, hey, is there any chance that there's a compete clause for CM Punk? And Tony made this face, bro. He didn't blink for like 10 minutes.
He didn't.
Me and Rob were counting, and he made this face after he's like, ew, like, you know, like he just stepped in poop, like dog poop or something. He was like, ooh, and he was just like, yeah, I don't want to get into that. We do appreciate everything that Phil has done. When Phil goes scorched earth, all these feelings are going to change.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mark my words. And they're going to be in court. Punk coming for that $5 million. He wants his money.
As he should. If Phil Brooks is standing on what he believes, then he should definitely, and this is probably going to end up in court.
What does AEW as a whole need to do, Sean, moving forward? What do they do to move forward? What needs to happen to move forward? I want to hear what you think.
I think AEW needs to get back to what made them unique in the first place. 5-star matches, quality storylines, and they need to fix the problem backstage. They need to realize at the end of the day, there's one boss. And until he starts conducting himself as such, they're going to continue to be problems like this. I think Mark Henry, if we're assuming correctly that Mark Henry was being sarcastic in what he put out there, I think he was 100% right. This is not going to lead to the problems going away because there's going to be another Phil Brooks, another so-called outsider that's going to rub the Elite the wrong way, going to rub Jack Perry the wrong way, going to rub Adam Page the wrong way, and it's going to be somebody that runs up against the Elite, and Tony Khan's going to have to step in and say, hey, we're not doing this again. But at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. You know, AEW seems like a organization that has the prisoners running the asylum, and that's not good. Not good.
Not even just that, bro. You know, I'm a huge Punk fan. Here's what I've done with it.
You're a Punk fan?
Yeah, absolutely. I at least I admit my bias when I come on here. But I'm throwing that away for a second, Sean. Throwing that away for a second. Tony Khan made his decision.
Mm-hmm.
You've made your bed, and now you have to lie in it. You have to lay down under those covers that you set up. You decide to keep the Bucks and all them around. If there's another problem, who's really the problem? If there's another issue, who's really the issue?
And honestly, if something goes down again and he doesn't fire them, then he's going to expose himself for being, and that's going to add to CM Punk's claim that he was mistreated.
Yep. And I think there's going to be more to it because it looks like the Young Bucks are still in a feud with FTR. Why did that happen? I thought the trilogy would be over, you know? That would end it. But no. They're hanging around. They're palling around them. We'll have to see what happens on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Me and Derek will have a review for you guys after the Dynamite show. And then hopefully we can get back to our regular schedule here so that we're not doing shows every day. With me and Sean have just been, we've been on OT mode. So
running.
Sean, what do you got coming up this week, brother?
We're gonna start getting ourselves geared up for Canelo defending his championships in a fight that's gonna be really, really interesting against Jermell Charlo. Looking forward to that. Gonna do some commentary about that. Thinking about doing another episode of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly in the near future, probably in October, so look out for that. I think the subjects on the show have been really good, so we're going to keep that energy going. And, of course, I'll be here every Monday night, 6:05, and a really, really fun announcement. Clash of the Podcast, our team, we take very, very much interest in bringing you shows every single week. We have not missed a show in 53 weeks, and we don't plan on it, by the grace of God. So one thing I want you guys to circle your calendars for is Christmas night. I know it's a little ways away, but Christmas night, we will be live, and I will be broadcasting from Miami, Florida. So we're going to have a little bit of a different backdrop, a little bit of a different energy. So I'm really excited for that. And, that's a little added bonus for the holiday season. Clash of the Podcast broadcasting from all over the country. And we're not going to miss a show, even though it's Christmas night. We're going to be with you. So get ready for the holiday season. It's September. We're gearing up. The weather's about to change. And one thing that's not going to change is Conrad and Sean, Clash of the Podcast.
You got some questions that are popping up in here for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about Canelo calling out Bud and his credentials?
I think it's a mistake. I think at this stage in Canelo's career, and Canelo's had an outstanding career, but I think at this stage in his career, him going up against Bud Crawford will be the biggest career mistake of Canelo's career. Saying he only beat one quality fighter, that's not accurate. I think that Bud Crawford's title reign has been really impressive. And I think he exposed the person who I thought would win the fight, which is Errol Spence. But watch out, because Errol Spence has invoked his rematch clause, and we're looking at sometime around Christmas. So, Spence is going to go back to the lab, and we're going to see, because don't count out Errol Spence Jr. Some great fighters have lost and come back to avenge that loss. Do I think that will happen? No. But I know that Errol Spence Jr. is going to come out all guns blazing in this rematch come the holiday season. So a lot of good stuff coming up.
And if you guys want to be live with Clash of the Podcast, make sure you subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly as well. And we will be back in the lab next Monday, live at 6:05, for giving you guys the best wrestling talk from two podcasts coming together. Everything Pro Wrestling, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. I'm Conrad, he's Sean, and we are out. We will see you next Monday at 6:05.